to We Watch Movie. I'm Mike.
I'm Jay.
And we have seen the coming of the Lord.
Oh my God, it's upon us.
I've been to the top of the mountain, and it is good. 2+ fucking years in the making, man. And I'm just talking about the channel. Like, the heavy updates, the heavy news, the announcements, shit like that. We've been waiting for someone to fix this shit since Rob Zombie's H2 took a hot, steamy crap on it.
Smelled bad.
It did. It was...
There was fucking corn in it. After all that time, we've finally arrived for the Halloween resurgence. Something that we needed to have happen for us to break open the doorway for other great horror classics that can be made. O.J. Simpson, the biography. Bill Cosby, Predator in the Wings. So many horror movies that are gonna come from this. No, you know what? Finally, the killer from Crystal Lake, Jason Voorhees, returns to the screen following up the smash hit from The Exorcist to go and have revenge on the kids from Elm Street to stop them from reading the Necronomicon and bringing Pinhead up. That's right, Halloween is back.
It's so funny you should say that, because when the movie started, it's fucking quiet as shit in the theater. And Jay goes, oh, I fucking love Jason. The dude next to me just starts laughing. I'm like, don't fucking laugh at him and promote his
No, I think he probably
bits.
thought I was some asshole. Like, this asshole thinks it's Jason.
We're going to be super vague, no spoilers. We are going to have a spoiler review, and this Saturday night we're going to do a live spoiler review plus live spoiler Q&A stream after we give everybody a chance to see the movie. First off, you have to go in, and I've been noticing people's reactions to the movie. Some people disappointed, some people like just all sorts of complaints, other people loving it, whatever. But I gotta say, the first thing you gotta go into this movie realizing is the hype train that's been behind it. If you're really into this, you've been talking about it forever, you've been thinking about it forever, you're gonna go in, you're gonna have all these expectations.
I'm gonna have sex! Oh shit.
Have you, the best way I can explain it is, have you ever been halfway through a really good Taco Bell burrito and like you can't even enjoy that burrito because it's so fucking good? All you can think about is how sad you're gonna be when it's over, you know? So you don't even enjoy your goddamn burrito. And I think I heard someone talk about this analogy in a podcast once, but that's kind of how I felt watching this movie. I'm so scared of what's going to happen next. I'm so excited for what's going to happen next. I have so much expectations. There's so much going on that I think, and I genuinely believe this, a lot of the fan negative-ish reactions that you are seeing come out live on the internet are gonna, I think that's gonna steady out a little bit. They didn't do anything horribly wrong. They didn't fuck up the franchise in any terrible way. They didn't take any huge goddamn missteps. They didn't fuck up Michael. They didn't have him talk. They didn't give him a beard. They didn't do...
Why?
The mask is absolutely spectacular. We know this. James Jude Courtney is right up there with Nick Castle. He's one of the best Michael Myers I've ever seen on TV before.
Amazing.
The cast is absolutely fantastic. Even the little characters who die quickly, who are meant to die, I actually liked a lot. Like, there's a couple characters that I was actually like, damn. You know, normally, even, especially in the bad Michael Myers movies, you go in and you watch them and you're straight up rooting for Michael to fuck shit up. And I was. But at the same time in this, a couple of even small characters, I was like, damn, it's almost sad to see you go. Because you were actually cool. Like, I liked that character. They did an amazing job with all the characters. There's small problems that I have with the movie, and there's two characters whose paths intersect at one point, and I liked these characters so much that I just, it's a personal choice, really. I really would have liked to see these characters fleshed out in another way and take a different path, but that's just, it is what happens, and it's a part of the movie. But at the end of the day, I love all the characters. I think Michael is as vicious as Rob Zombie's Michael, but also as smooth and scary and in the shadows as John Carpenter's original Michael. And that's the most important fucking thing. I think that Jamie Lee Curtis actually, when you look at H2O Jamie Lee Curtis, where she's supposed to be dealing with drama, she's supposed to be dealing with what happened, kind of the same way she is here. You see her just drinking wine and being upset or whatever and yelling at her son, "You're not going to Yosemite, okay?"
Michael Myers is dead.
And
Fuck
this,
you.
I was shocked at how real life they made her trauma. Like, they put her in situations and you're like, fuck, I can actually feel that. I didn't expect to feel her trauma in a new way the way I did in this movie. She was fantastic, and it was dark. What she was going through was really, really dark, and I like that a lot. And every time Michael's on screen, I mean, it's palpable. You can feel it. He is fucking perfect. The way he moves. He even has, and I'm not saying this in a bad way, but there's a couple times where you and I were cracking up together in serious scenes just because there's certain Michael nuances that we laugh at, because that's just, that's what we built our channel on.
Yeah, we have skits. We do this.
There's certain things he would walk away from things. He even picked up those nuances and moved in the greatest fucking way. And we were laughing at it, but we still loved it. Most importantly, I found Michael scary. There were scenes I was actually scared of what Michael was going to do. It was intense, which is insanely the biggest compliment you can give this movie. You can actually take Michael Myers, an icon that everybody knows he's on fucking cookies, you know, and you can make that scary again. That's amazing. And I felt his presence. When he wasn't on screen, I felt him in the shadows. I felt him around. Michael was spot on. He was a fucking 10. Michael was an absolute 10. I have a lot of questions about the franchise, about where they're going to take it moving forward.
Michael wears a goalie mask one day. That's what happens.
So many questions, dude, about what they're going to do with it moving forward. But ultimately, man, it was everything I hoped for. I think when things level out and the hype goes down a little bit, to me, this is going to be, we're going to do a ranking later on, but Halloween 2018 is going to be in the top several Halloween movies for me. That's how good I think it was.
Yeah, I agree and echo most of your sentiments. And as a matter of fact, one of the things I also took away from the movie as well is I think that thematically the way that it was shot, just the overall like the nods to the entire franchise. They do a lot of there's a lot of Easter eggs that they do for fans that are hardcore fans of the movie. And if you look and you watch for them, you'll see them. There's a couple of scenes you're like, holy shit, that actually fucking was really cool. And that, oh yeah, I remember that scene. And I got like there are things about this movie that are really, really well done, and they're fucking shot amazingly perfectly. There's a certain scene specifically when Michael's in the dark, and the way that the mask is framed and the light's kind of hitting it, it looks like the original mask, and it's vicious and it's mean, and it's something like that I haven't seen. You know, like Rob Zombie did what Rob Zombie did with the original, with his version of Michael Myers in the first Halloween movie. And then before that, though, The Curse of Michael Myers had come out, and it made Michael a lot more angry than he'd ever been before. What they captured perfectly as far as the characterization of this character of Michael Myers is that they took what Rob Zombie wished he had done with H2 and mixed it with the John Carpenter classic style. So it's the combination of a Rob Zombie, John Carpenter mishmash amalgam that works finally on screen for the first time. Plus with an amazing background soundtrack as well. John Carpenter fucking killed it.
Jesus.
Along with his, I don't know if it was his son or his grandson, Cody Carpenter, they nailed the shit out of that. David Gordon Green took a character that had been beloved but also been treated like trash dogs in the fucking city of New York after the Red Sox won. I mean, it happens. And made it something again that you can get behind. He took the nipples off the bat suit and said, I like Michael Keaton, give it to me, Jim. The characters in the film, as far as like Jamie Lee Curtis and returning to Laurie Strode, I think that she's powerful. I think that she does exactly what she should do. And as far as that the development of that character over 40 years, in the way that it moves in the plot. Also, the introduction of these newer characters as well, they also have their spotlight to shine, but it doesn't take away from the overall. Like, we all know what we're there for. We're there to see Michael. We're there to see something finally different, but also new or different and new, but also something that kind of anchors us back or brings us back to what we loved about Michael Myers. And I think they do that. The liquid motion of Michael Myers, like the liquid shadow shape that he is there, like you mentioned. And again, echoing what your thoughts, he's there in the shadows. He's there, and his presence is felt everywhere throughout the entire movie. But when he's on screen, he's very fucking vicious. He's very like nasty, and there's gore and there's shit like apart, and you're like, God damn, I love you, because get inside you. But there edema. But there are sometimes you're watching it and they'll go a direction with it, and you're like, fuck. It's like your stepdad just brought you some cool ass toys from his business trip. Now he's yelling at your mom, and you're like, fuck. I was like, God damn it, I don't want to fucking be this way. You know, I should go over there and defend my mom, but damn, this fucking Blink-182 CD is really cool, and he brought this for me. And, you know, there's so many pieces of this movie that fit together really well, but it's also one of those movies that you really, I think, personally want to go and experience a couple more times in the theater just to get everything you want from it. Because this is our like initial reaction immediately. Like after a while seeing it again, maybe things will change, maybe things will shift up, but overall, like lighting, the way it's shot, the characters, the direction of it, the way that it flowed as a movie itself, I felt fucking amazing after I left the theater. And I was trying to tell Mike, like there's something about it that maybe it's because it's been a while since I've seen a good horror movie that I actually got behind. I'm like, fuck yeah, or is there, you're watching it overall and then you're like, it's a great movie, but there's just maybe just a little tiny thing off, just the smallest thing, just the small thing, and you can't quite put your wiener on it, but you know it's there and you don't know what that is.
There's a lot of things I can't quite get my wiener on.
A fucking taco.
It's upsetting.
But yeah, I mean, but overall, like, I'm gonna give this, like, my score for the movie. I flirted with a 7.5, but then I realized I'm gonna cheat and go to an 8.0. And I think an 8.0 is a solid score for the movie. I think that the fans of the original series and the Rob Zombie kind of fans are gonna love the movie. I think it is exactly the marriage between the two that needed to happen to make it move forward. And they're definitely gonna be, moving forward. The franchise is gonna live, and I think that that's a great thing. And it also opens the door, as we mentioned, for Jason and Freddy Krueger and all. This movie is without a doubt a success, and thank fucking God for David Gordon Green, because his name is Green of Gordon David.
That's the best way you could possibly say it, is that overall, Halloween 2018 is a huge fucking success. I went to Kroger to pick up my pick your own six pack. And the two just random dudes at the cigarette aisle were like, man, I'm going to see Michael Myers later. He's like, is that the Halloween movie? He's like, yeah, I think I might do that too. The theater was packed. Everybody's excited. The movie, I think, let's make a deal. Everybody's wondering what it's going to make at the box office. Take the highest score and then add $1 to it. I don't do box office stuff, but that's my prediction. I think it's going to be fucking huge.
I do too.
And I think they deserve it. Most importantly, at the end of the day, this movie is a serious Halloween horror film that's well made with no gigantic holes. There's a point with the characters people aren't going to like, but it's not something that damns the franchise. It's not something that it's not the Man in Black, it's not something you can't come back from. The movie is to be taken seriously. It's well made.
There's no rooms.
There's heart in it.
There's no rooms.
There's heart in it. There's all that stuff. It could have used a little bit more Halloween atmosphere. I expected a lot more Halloween atmosphere, but most of the movie takes place at night, and I think that adds to it. When you think Halloween atmosphere, you think Halloween 4, you think hay bales,
But when Michael Myers was on screen, I always felt like when he came on screen though, because you wanted him to be there. Like every time you saw him, you're like, Daddy. You're like, Dad. But honestly,
it looks like there's a psychopath.
Well, I know it does, but I mean, and I don't know what that says about us. But every time I fucking saw him on screen, and he's just being badass, like you've been struck by, you've been hit by a smooth criminal. But every time I saw him though, like I really wanted to just be like, hey old friend, how are you? Thank you for coming to my Thanksgiving dinner, because nobody fucking showed up.
Oh, and when he puts the mask on.
Dude. Like, I don't know. Like again, I don't know what that says about me and Mike. I don't know what that says about other people that enjoy it that much on that level, like that superhero level, that like the Batman kind of level. But when he's on screen, man, it's like, where have you been and what have you done? And tell me all your story. Come and knock on our door. It's really fucking badass to see him on the big screen again. It's Michael fucking Myers, guys.
Yes, sir. And Andy Manichak, James Jude Courtney, Jamie Lee Curtis. Will Patton was everything we hoped he would be. We were probably more psyched than anybody Will Patton was getting cast in this role. Will Patton. He was amazing. He was everything I hoped he would be.
Because you're right. When you say that the heart was there, the heart was there. Like that's one of the main things. And you wouldn't think that a lot of times about a horror movie, I guess, that you need that kind of heart. But for this kind of franchise, for this kind of movie, you would need that kind of attention and that kind of dedication to make something really cool again and make it unique and make it something that is going to stand out. That's going to be its own thing, but also pay homage to things that have come before it, as well as like tip the hat to the other directors and the other Michael Myers that had come before.
It doesn't feel like The Force Awakens to A Last Hope, and I was worried about that. One of the only bad things I can say, the last negative thing I can really say is that, man, I wish I didn't watch any fucking trailers.
Yeah.
The trailers had such cool scenes in them that it would have just added so much. Like when a trailer scene would come up, I'd go, oh fuck, I've seen that, but fuck, I wish I hadn't have seen that.
But in their defense, they did show a little bit more than I wish they had, because they do use a lot of the trailer footage that, like, obviously, I mean, it's a trailer, so it's the footage of the film, but you're kind of expecting it. In their defense, though, even though you saw it in the trailer, the way that they expand on it in the movie, holy fuck.
Yeah.
Get me a goddamn Klondike.
And a snorkel. I give it an
And
8.5.
cocaine.
I give it an 8.5, man. I think it's going to rank really high in my all-timer list because it's well made from beginning to end. There's no huge holes. Michael's fucking top notch. Laurie great. Everything's great, man. I love the movie. I cannot wait to fucking watch it again.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think this is a movie that you cannot watch again in the theater.
And the gore is muchomotos.
It feels so nice like SpaghettiOs. Raviolis.
Fritos.
Let me tell you something. They didn't give us that fucking great value shit. That was the real deal, what they gave us. But no, yeah, you got to watch it a couple of more times in the theater if you're a true fan. And like, here's how I'm looking at the movie. An 8.0 is solid for me. 8.5 for Mike. Like, while you're watching it, maybe for me, I'm thinking like, can I watch this on Blu-ray or DVD when it comes out and watch it over again with my collection of Halloween, getting ready for the next Halloween, maybe next year? Abso-fuckity-lutely. And I mean, I'm gonna skip over that turd nugget that's called Rob Zombie's H2, and I'll fart away from that Resurrection pile of dog shit. But this movie fits in seamlessly with that lore, with the idea of what Michael Myers is. And again, kudos to everybody involved with the production and the development of this. David Gordon Green, Danny McBride did an amazing job writing, along with the other guys. I mean, it's not the best, it's not the most perfect thing, but we all had our expectations. We all had our ideas about what we wanted, but they delivered. Rocky beat fucking Drago, okay? He beat Drago. And if he could get along and we could get along, we all could get along.
I fight for me.
No easy way out for me.
So, absolute last thing I'm going to say is that the entire movie, I never had a second to go. I got to find a fucking Easter egg. I saw some.
Yeah.
There's some. I never had a second to be anything like, regardless of what you want to say about the movie, I was on pins and needles the entire time. I was actually like, I'm not just like, oh, cool, a Halloween sequel. I'm like involved in the story, what's happening with the characters, liking the characters, enjoying myself, scared of about what's going to happen. I didn't expect to feel that at any
It's like being back in high school.
No.
I want to go back.
Comment down below with your all's thoughts, guys. We're going to get to the live stream, answer some questions. Remember, this Saturday night, we're going to do a full-on spoiler talk live stream and review, so make sure you be there for that. But at the end of the day, Halloween 2018 is a huge fucking... I can't speak without my goddamn
fucking mess of
life
goodness.
alert. Halloween 2018 is a huge fucking success, and we love the shit out of it. And kudos to Blumhouse and everybody involved. We did it. We've been to the top of the mountain.
We did it.
It's fucking good.
We won the campaign. What do we do next? That's the next question. After this movie, where do we go?
A lot of questions.
Where do we go from here?
If you're new to the channel, click that subscribe button and that goddamn notification bell and get some motherfucking goddamn son of a bitch and I'll be stroking. Wham up in
fucking taints.
We watched a movie. Yeah. We watched a movie. We watched it. We watched a movie.